here it is. I know it's been a long time coming, but the Phaeton is done. It's actually been done. It's August 2020 right now. It's been done since like October, November 2019. Well, at least so I thought. The reason why it's taken so long to give you guys an update, you see I got the windows tinted and everything, is because every time I go to make a video, this car break again. All right. So I haven't driven this thing since June because there's my little tape job. Had to do that in order to get past inspection. Funny enough. So the first time I wanted to make an update, I was going to make an update of the car and I was going to tell you guys about how I got the thing out of park, which I will cover today. But I ended up moving, so that took a little bit of my time. And once we moved and got settled, it was wintertime by that time. It was cold. But I said, I'm going to go ahead and make a video. So I get ready to go make the video, but this driver's side, I know it's on a drive down, this driver's side wheel bearing was just howling. It was getting worse and worse by the day. So I said, okay, let me go ahead and replace the wheel bearing. And I should have footage of that somewhere. I don't know. I thought I recorded it, but I replaced that, took it on a test drive, and it was quiet, super silent, but I ended up hearing something else, and I'm like, what is that? Power steering, and also the passenger side wheel bearing. That also needs some love and attention. So now we have the power steering is super loud, but I couldn't hear it over the wheel bearing at first. So I come back and I'm like, man, it's probably the lines. It could be leaking, but it's not leaking at all, which is a common thing for these cars. Turns out it's probably so common, I think they replaced it because those power steering lines look brand new, thank goodness. But I end up flushing the fluid, and I think I have some footage of that as well. Flush the fluid, flush over and over and over again, because on this car, of course, it's not easy to do. So it's easy to do. It just takes a really long time. So I did that. Then right after that, I was going to make a video. You know, while I'm talking, let's go ahead and talk about this in the car. Let's take it for a quick ride, just to get the oils and stuff going. All right, let's go. Of course not. All right, so let's take it for a quick ride. We're not gonna probably be able to go far. Make sure all the other little bells and whistles are off. Only thing we're gonna use right now is the AC. Okay, so where did I leave off? So after the power steering, I flushed and flushed and flushed. It was quiet, at least quieter to me. I really don't know. That's kind of the thing with these being so rare. I really don't know what this car is supposed to sound like. It has a W12, 12-cylinder engine, so I'd imagine it'd be louder than, my V8s. But anyway, I really don't know what it's supposed to sound like. So, but it was much, much quieter. And then after that, I thought, finally, she's done. Oh my goodness, I can finally enjoy the car. And I didn't make a video. I just decided I would go for a little ride. So you can see I have the car seats in the back. Then this is June, the last time my kids even been out of the house, or at least in the car. We go for a little ride. And one thing about this car is it's so comfortable. Okay, it's so comfortable, and it's like a cave, and it hugs you so much that we didn't go anywhere but to my stepmom's house, which is like 45 minutes away. And man, we were all sleepy. Like the kids was knocked out. My wife was dozing off, but she never go to sleep in the car. So we just decided we just go ahead and come on back home. All right, we in jack mode. That's right. Okay, it's not probably not gonna come out of jack mode. That little noise is letting me know that, okay, the first thing was letting me know that one of the parking sensors is bad. That second beep was letting me know that I have a workshop workshop level fault system. That happens anytime you just basically disconnect the battery. So that will straighten itself out once we go straight for a little bit. And we're not going to leave the neighborhood. We're just going to go down the street. All right. So we can ride around the neighborhood for a little bit. So I come back. So anyway, so I take the car. You know, we come back from that whole trip, and then I hop in, and I'm about to go to my sister's house because I have another Phaeton there, a V8 that I originally bought. And you know, I told y'all a story how I ended up finding this. I was actually looking for a bumper for that when I bought it off Copart for $1,200. It had 70,000 miles on it, and as it ended up turning out, I figured out it has a blown head gasket and the engine is toast. So that's why I could never get the thing started. It would just keep cranking, but would never actually start. I got to start one time and it ran terrible. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I went over there because this one needs a new rear caliper. The boot is torn on that, and I was going to get take it off of there. And then also I was sure, since that one had such low miles, that the power steering lines would be better, because when I was, you know, doing some work under there, I noticed that the power steering lines were aluminum and they were fresh looking. So I was just going to take those off and put them on here, because I just knew that these were messed up, the lines on this car. I didn't even check, I just knew, right? So I'm on my way over there, and I get halfway, and this was Father's Day weekend, and the car just loses power. I mean, like, and I'm like, am I tripping? What's going on? Because the car is still on, but it felt like it just cut off, and I still have power steering and all that. Mind you, I have two batteries though. That's the thing. So I'm like, what's going on? So I kept going. I pulled over, and I'm like, okay, everything seems to be working fine. I gave it gas, it was fine. I was like, okay, that was weird. So I just started going again. Some of you are probably thinking like, oh, I know what that is. Yeah, so I just stop at the light, and light turns green. I try to go through the intersection, and the thing does it again in the middle of the intersection. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I'm freaking out. I'm like, yo, when does that happen? Oh, no blinker. Alternator. That's when that happens, right? So I'm like, oh my God, I'm like 50 minutes from home. I was like, nah, I'm not getting this towed. Let's just go. So I ended up making it all the way home. But I mean, the AC, y'all know the vents, you know, when it changes, I always keep all my AC and all my cars on auto. So the vents opened up when I was getting on the highway, and that mug just lost all the power. I'm like, no. So I turned the AC off, and of course, I mean, it's summertime. I need something. So I'm like, crap, I got to roll down the windows, lose power again. Oh, that was an interesting ride there. So, you know, I'm riding around right now, and the alternator is not charging anything. I just fully charged the batteries, and I did pull out of the garage like 2 weeks ago, but I leave the batteries unplugged. So we're not going to go far. All right, so that's it. It needs an alternator now, and I haven't bought it. I haven't done anything with this because we've still been trying to get settled in the house. You know, I had a whole job for a little bit too that didn't work out. I had to quit that because I can't deal with that type of oppression. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, y'all. So to answer the question, because someone had made a comment last night about you know, part 5. I was like, oh, it's a part 5. How did you get out of park? So it was actually a very simple thing, and this is the whole reason why I wanted to keep the car and make the series anyways. It's just to show that cars are simple things. You know, yes, some may have more features and more tech, but overall, you know, it's simple. An oil change is an oil change, even though this car is the most difficult oil change I've ever experienced in my life. But you know, an oil change is an oil change. You know, these cars aren't really that bad. You know, I really was coming after Doug DeMuro because he said this is one of his favorite cars of all time, and it is, as is mine. And he always wanted, but he's like, his words exactly in the car, I don't want to deal with that. Yeah, Doug is kind of right. I mean, this joint has been a diva, for real. It has really been a bit of a diva, but I know I like, what the heck was that? Bill, I was trying to pet you and give you a little rub there and tell you I still like it anyway. Oh my God. What was that? Something just happened, y'all. Something just happened. Something just happened. See what I'm talking about? Something just happened. Let's go look. God. Something. Oh my goodness gracious. What just happened? I'm going to tell you what it sounded like. It sounded like is my tire not on tight enough? I did take it off. It sounded like my airbag blew or something. Smells like an auto shop, huh? It's not leaking anything. I don't know what that was. I'm nervous. I'm gonna go ahead and just get this thing back in the house. Let's just do that. Let's just do that. I don't know what the heck that was. I don't know if I could do it, y'all. I really don't know. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know. I don't know if I could do. Y'all let me know. I don't know if I could do this. I don't have a YouTube channel with a big following that, or I make a video, it pays for all the repairs and whatnot. I don't know if I could do this because my thing is, I need a car I could just hop in and not worry anything about. But likewise, I mean, this is why I think Hoovie's Garage took off so well. You know, I'm one of those guys. I'm not spending more than $10,000 on a car, and there are good cars out there that you can buy for less than 10 grand that'll just go the distance. For instance, I'm rhyming now, but for instance, like, you know, my LS430.